Hello! It has been a little while since I've filmed a video, and the last couple of videos I've filmed have been how to help a friend who has anxiety, or how to help a loved one that has anxiety, and a few people asked if I could do a video on how to cope with anxiety on your own. Not everybody is blessed to have the family that understand, the friends that understand, and there's a lot of people that are doing it alone. I felt like I did it alone a little bit for a while when I wasn't really fully aware that I had anxiety, or I didn't really understand it totally. I couldn't really explain it to my family and friends, and I think my family felt like I was having tantrums when I was having panic attacks, or they just didn't really understand that I couldn't just snap out of it, and they would make comments that would be hurtful to me and stuff like that because I wasn't able to sit them down and explain to them what was going on. Some people, even if you do explain to your family and friends, they don't get it, and it's really hurtful and really hard to do this on your own. It's really hard, and so if I can make you feel like you're doing it a little bit less alone, that's amazing. And these are some tips that I've got that can help you a little bit if you're coping with this on your own. My first tip would be to get to know yourself. The most important part of my recovery, I think, has been getting to know myself, getting to know what I like, getting to know what makes me relaxed, getting to know where I feel safe, getting just to know myself in every way. This is so important, especially if you're doing this alone. Getting to know all different parts of yourself and not just your anxiety, because it feels like your anxiety completely takes over your life. When you have severe anxiety, it feels like that's everything, and it feels like every day, every minute is consumed by it, and it feels like there's just no escape from it. I really understand that. So I found that just getting to know different parts of myself, and I don't know if everybody will have experienced this, but I'm pretty sure you have, where you have a little inner voice that says, oh, I really want to learn to knit, or oh, I really want to learn to draw, I want to draw more, I really want to start an Instagram page about my passion for cleaning. Whatever it is, I think there's little parts of us that are asking for things, and I think just trying to tune in with that a little bit more and just trying to listen to those voices, because I think that if you are kind of, I don't know, scrolling through Instagram and you see somebody that does really amazing embroidery, or does really amazing craft stuff, or has done a couch to 5k, and you have a little bit inside you that's like, I'd love to do that. Now is the time to listen to all those little voices and listen to what they're trying to say and try and go down one of the paths that is trying to lead you to. The next thing is to have as much routine as possible. This doesn't mean, I think when I say routine, I sometimes think that means getting up at 7 in the morning, getting dressed, having breakfast, having a shower, going to work, all these things, but that's not what routine means. Routine just means a rough guide of how your day usually goes. It doesn't need to be strenuous, it doesn't need to have things in it that you don't want to do. Also, if you're somebody that isn't working at the moment, it's just as important for you to have a routine. Something that just kind of tells you when you're doing things, something that's familiar and comforting, really helps. Something that's familiar, I think, really reduces anxiety, and there's just something in it that's really good. And I know that when you're really having a really bad time with anxiety, it can be really hard to start the routine because it feels like you're not ready. It feels like you kind of just want to lie on the sofa all the time waiting for a panic attack or trying to prevent a panic attack, and I've totally been there. But just try and start with the very low maintenance things. Try to start with things that you maybe want to do. Maybe it's something like having a coffee every morning, going to the coffee machine, the kettle, making yourself a coffee and sitting in the same place. Just little tiny things that could take 10 minutes. Start to make a routine that's comfortable. It doesn't need to have difficult things, horrible things, doesn't need to have things that are necessary. Whatever your routine looks like for you is absolutely fine. My next thing is kind of similar to routine, and that is getting back to basics. When you're going through a really hard time, going back to the very basics of what you need. Food. Trying to eat something. It doesn't need to be healthy. It doesn't need to follow guidelines. It doesn't need to be anything. It just needs to be what you feel able to eat, what a safe food is for you. just try and eat something, and as much as you possibly can, because I know that when I'm going through a bit of a difficult time, it can be about 3 o'clock before I eat, and then I eat all snack pretty much from 3 o'clock till midnight, because I've not given my body any energy at all. I'm not somebody that eats particularly healthy, but fueling my body in any way is good, and I try and just do things like that. Things like showering, trying to shower once, even if you're in a really bad rut, trying to shower once every couple of days, or trying to bath every day, just making sure the basic requirements are met. And if you manage to do that, try and add in a little bit more and a little bit more, just building yourself up from the very, very basics. My next thing is to have fun. So much of the time we are constantly looking at our ability or our non-ability to do things. During recovery, I was constantly thinking, I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that, all my friends are able to do this, my parents aren't able to do this because I'm not able to do this. I constantly just looked at what I was lacking and how rubbish I was for not being able to go into town, not being able to do the things I want to do. I felt just like everything, I was just failing at everything, and I wasn't doing enough, and I wasn't doing the right things, and my anxiety was too bad, and all these kind of things, and they were just so unhelpful, and there wasn't enough fun injected into things. All the time I was thinking about how I can be better, rather than just being like, this is my moment right now. Why don't I teach myself a craft? Why don't I go out with my friends? Why don't I do the things I am able to do and have some fun? I think if you're not injecting fun into recovery as much as you can, and when that feels okay, because obviously sometimes you don't really feel like having fun, injecting humour, fun, silliness is really, really important as much as you can. Something else that's quite good is mini challenges. Things like, they can be really fun things that are nothing to do with anxiety and your recovery, or they can be things to do with your anxiety and recovery. I've done mini challenges like driving with my dad, seeing how far we can go before I start to feel a bit uneasy. I've done trying to walk to the bus stop, trying to walk to the next bus stop, getting on the bus, mini challenges like that. But they can also be things like drawing for 30 days. There's so many things on Instagram, people doing 30 days of being productive, 30 days of workouts, 30 days of drinking water. Try and maybe choose one of them, something you can focus on that's not really anxiety related, but that's good for you and that's good for your creativity or your body or your physical or soul. It's things that are good for you to focus on. I think they're really helpful. So why don't you start today choosing a mini challenge that you can do. And the last thing I need to say is self-kindness is the most important thing on this journey. I think I have developed quite a good self-kindness towards myself, and I'm working on it every day, and sometimes self-kindness can be, okay Emily, you need to do this. You need to get on this bus and you need to try. Whenever that is my self-kindness method, I will say, okay, we need to get on the bus, we need to try. But if I'm feeling really uneasy after a couple of bus stops, I get off. And I don't need to explain to anybody why, don't need to explain to myself why. I just do that because I don't need to put myself in extreme danger or extreme unsafe situations. I just want to challenge a little bit. I just want to play around with the idea of challenging my anxiety. Recovery isn't about putting yourself in the most severe, horrific, uncomfortable situations and just trying to get through it. It's about step by step, little bit, paddling in the sea. That's what it's about for me. So self-kindness can also be just really, really, really slow-paced, lying on the sofa for a few days, napping, taking long baths, taking long walks. Self-kindness is the voice, I think, that comes with self-care and self-love. It's the voice, your inner voice that talks to you every day, that said to me today, oh, I know you don't really feel like filming this video, but once you film the video you'll feel great, and once you get talking you'll know what you want to say, so why don't we try it? That's self-kindness voice. The self-kindness voice also sometimes sounds like, oh, I feel a bit sore and a bit tired today, that's how I feel, maybe we can watch some TV. That's the self-kindness voice for me. And just getting to know it and just being as kind as possible to yourself. I hope some of these helped. I know that if you are in a situation that people don't really understand around you, it can be really, really hard. And you are able to do this on your own. You're able to do this 100% if you are in a position where you actually feel like you do need to get some help. Doctor's surgeries aren't always amazing, but they can put you in contact with people that are amazing, that can help you. Also, sometimes doctors can be really amazing. There are loads of GPs out there that understand mental health. Also, if you are able to financially, private therapists are everywhere. I would recommend person-centered therapy because that's the one that's helped me the most. But if you are doing this on your own, you are able to. You have the tools and you really do have all the answers in you. You just need to kind of work at trying to get them out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video and I'll see you soon. Bye!